Welcome back. Hope everybody can hear me okay. How's it going? Happy holidays. Let me know if my voice is all right in the chat, but I think we're good to go. Merry Christmas, you beautiful people of Hexaco. I hope everybody had a great holidays, spending time with their family and loved ones. That's what it's really all about, spending time with the people you love and just, the spirit of giving. It's really a loving, positive, good vibe all around. I mean, I always come off of Christmas and I celebrate Christmas. I don't know, you might celebrate Hanukkah. I don't know. Does anybody celebrate Kwanzaa? There's a lot of religions, a lot of belief systems that all have similar kind of rituals that end up being right around this time, right around the winter solstice. And if you want to talk about the history, a lot of them date back to pagan religions or just people that used to follow the stars and ancient civilizations and all this kind of stuff. And we're all really just celebrating different branches of the same underlying thing, which is, worshiping, the higher power and celebrating unity with everybody. And, the story of Christ has so many different interpretations over the years, but it's really fascinating to me to look back in history and see, some people say, the story of Jesus came from an old mushroom cult back in the day, and people used to do psychedelics and worship, the body of Christ was supposed to be like, man's separation from God, right? Anyway, I don't want to talk too much about religion and all that stuff. Just wanted to say that I hope you're all doing really, really well, because wherever you are, whatever belief system you have, you're here today. You're here at the bottom of the bear market in 2022, coming on 2023. And if you're here today, guys, as far as I'm concerned, you are OG AF. You are an OG of an OG. We're back to prices that we were at about a year and a half ago in terms of HEX, right? HEX is back to about the prices we were at about a year and a half ago. So you remember all those people on the way up that were saying, am I too late to buy HEX? That was always the big question on the way up. And nobody seems to be asking that anymore on the way down. And I find that funny, because if you thought you were too late on the way up, here's your second chance. Here is literally your second chance staring you in the face. And so for those that are choosing to join this belief system, that HEX will survive for many, many more years to come, which I find to be a pretty easy gamble myself, personally, just knowing what I know about the community and the product and everything else coming up. But this is your second chance, right? It's like, it's funny that everybody asks if they're too late on the way up, and everybody has the exact opposite opinion on the way down. But all you need to do is ask yourself, do you really think that HEX is going to be one of these coins that just pumps and dumps one time and never ever comes back, despite the thousands and thousands of people worldwide that are strongly believing in this coin, voting by putting their money where their mouth is? The code is solid, triple audited, 100% uptime, no middlemen, right? The real scammers in crypto, the people that everybody gave a handout to, FTX, where everybody was shilling FTX, everybody, paid celebrities, mainstream crypto influencers, quote unquote, they were just paid shills. They were paid shills for a centralized trading platform that lets you take on leverage way too easy, that ended up commingling funds with, a sister company that they were literally in bed with, literally, Sam Bankman-Fried and Caroline. And how crazy is it that, Sam Bankman-Fried gets out on bond. Bond is not bail, from what I understand. It's different. But $250 million bond was posted for FTX. And it's crazy to me, because the only collateral that their family put up was their $4 million home in, San Francisco or something. So they didn't even put up the full $250 million. That's $250 million to get this guy out of jail. And from what I understand, the Southern District Court of New York State is not known to be the most peaceful, the most fair branch of the judicial system. It's known for its corruption, allegedly, right? But they basically just allowed the Bankman-Fried family to put up their house's collateral to get their little boy out of jail, on bond. And it's on just good faith. It's on good faith that by putting up their $4 million home as collateral, the other $246 million are just taken care of, because some hands were shaken behind the closed doors. And my God, guys, it's a train wreck out there. And, we can't let this Sam Bankman-Fried guy run free. And I think that this is all an elaborate plan to free the real villains, and because everybody is in bed with each other, everybody is at the highest level. Gary Gensler, friends with Caroline's dad, right? And Sam Bankman-Fried, his mom in bed with the Democrats. I mean, all this stuff is very easily exposed to people that are in the know, right? Bankman-Fried's father is an expert in offshore business law, right? And they're trying to play this guy off as a 30-year-old man. They're trying to play him off as a little boy, like using the kid gloves with him, right? You should be able to be held accountable for his actions, losing billions and billions of dollars of innocent people's money. Now, granted, we do tell people not to trade on public exchanges, but what I'm trying to say is we can't let these crypto conspiracies run free, because then we deserve, if we're complicit in the act, right? If we let it go without making noise about it, without exposing the truth, to the real truth, not the mainstream media version, it's almost like we're complicit, if we just let it slide. So we have to keep talking about this. Don't let Sam Bankman-Fried run free. Sam Bankman-Fraud, I should say. And meanwhile, don't let everybody call you the scammer for promoting real DeFi that's actually decentralized, that's never been hacked. And yeah, the prices go up and down, and I know we're at the bottom of a bear market. So cheers to all you guys, and happy holidays for still being here and trying to keep a positive attitude, because I know it's hard. It's really, really hard. It's very, if this is your first bear cycle too, it's incredibly tough, because you really do test your conviction. But all you need to do is ask yourself, do you think HEX is coming back? Or do you think it's just a one pump and done type of deal? Because I really believe it's not. It's not just a one and done. This was not a pump and dump, guys. This is a long-term financial vehicle that we've been talking about for ages now. We've been talking about this since day one, that HEX was designed to last many, many years. And the people that are doing it right are still, most of them are actually still in profit if you got in, anywhere from the first year and a half time frame. People after that year and a half mark, as long as they're staked in dollar cost averaging, bringing their prices down, their DCA prices down, a lot of them are still happy too, especially when you got your staking ladder, offsetting your losses via yield on paper, right? These are all paper losses right now. These are all just not realized for the most part, unless you're selling the bottom, in which case, good riddance, right? I see a lot of people selling the bottom, and what do they do? What do these people do as soon as they sell the bottom of HEX? They try to shit talk HEX at any chance they can get. They just turn anti-HEX. I mean, I'm sure a lot of them just pleasantly go away and ride into the sunset, but there's a lot of scammers out there that they'll dump their HEX and then they'll just start saying that HEX is evil. But hey, buy my new shitcoin, because I have the real keys to the universe, right? And people think that they're just gonna make the next HEX overnight or something that can outperform it. Be careful. Be careful. I'm friendly to a lot of other coins, but I really don't like when someone flips and then becomes antagonistic, because that's not the vibe we need, right? That's not the mentality that we need right now. Positivity, unity, respect, mutual respect, not name calling, right? And if you see somebody else in a different coin blatantly just calling people names and just being a negative human being, just spewing hatred and negativity, well, that's not somebody I want to be associated with. That's not really even a good look on the coin itself. I understand that the coin can be different than the people promoting it, but if you've got these mean-spirited, hate in their heart people that just want to bring others down around them because they're sad and miserable themselves, that's not something I want to touch with a 10-foot pole. I mean, I'm a human being. I am emotional just like everybody else, and I don't want to associate with people that don't have a positive mindset, that can't see the bigger picture, and especially if they flip the script and just start attacking other people like you and me and people that have been here the whole time that just want the best for everyone. Because I want this all to be a positive sum game, and I believe there's room for more than obviously just HEX. There's room for plenty of coins, but you got to be inclusive, not exclusive. You can't just start bashing other people, especially their actual personality, right? Sure, you can take a shot at the idea, even though it is kind of facetious to be doing that, especially when you bought into the HEX narrative and all of a sudden are talking shit about things that you were gloating about, months before. And it's easy. It's very transparent. It's easy to see right through a lot of these fake people, a lot of fake hexicans out there. But hey, most of you guys in the chat, most of you guys are real OGs. And especially if you're here now, this is your do-over. This is your second chance. Imagine all the people complaining when HEX was 40, 50 cents. Oh, I'm too late. It's always the OG's fault. They're always going to be dumping forever. Well, guess what? The price is now the same level that it was a year and a half. And, with PulseChain coming out and the documentary and V3 around the corner, testnet V3, these are all events that are going to pump the price of HEX, in my opinion, right? Seems likely to me. So there's a bright future ahead, even in a bear market, but try to realize that every coin is getting smashed right now because nobody wants to hold speculative assets right now. They want to dump them for cash. And when you hear Jim Cramer telling you that he would never touch crypto, that looks like a pretty good bottoming signal. I mean, yeah, of course we could go lower. Of course, HEX could go to 1 penny, could even go lower. But I don't think it will. I don't think it'll go much lower than a penny. I've been wrong before. All I'm trying to say is that when sentiment is at an all-time low for crypto, the seasoned veterans that have been here a while know that that's actually a buy signal, and the euphoria is actually sometimes a sell signal. The euphoria can be just as scary as the bear market lows. I mean, I was actually feeling weird, a very strange feeling. It was kind of like fear, and fear and excitement are kind of two sides of the same coin, right? It's just fear and excitement are kind of the same emotion with a different trigger behind them. And that's how I was feeling in the last bull market, because we really were getting out of control and what is it called? Irrational exuberance, right? You could tell how much irrational exuberance there was in the market because you can tell when the coin drops 90%, that's all the people that were liquid holders, that were bandwagon speculators, that didn't want to do HEX right. All the people that were unstaked, they got washed out in the earlier half, and basically the whole year of 2022 has been a washout of non-believers and people doing HEX the wrong way, not staking. Maybe they made some profit and good for them, but the real wealth is generated by long-term stakers that have their ladders set up and all that stuff. So yeah, it's funny to see people just cashing out at the lows because maybe they were liquid, even emergency end staking. And it sounds crazy. I mean, that's the opposite of how money is made. I mean, the real generational wealth in crypto is made in bear markets. It's made in bear markets, guys. You don't ever really get rich from buying the top of a bull market. So, if you're skeptical about it now, you got to ask yourself, what price would it be? What price would it take for you to buy back into HEX? I mean, if you're waiting for HEX to go back up to 10 cents, well, you're going to miss a 4x return. Rather than just buying it now at 2.5, if you're going to wait till 10, you're missing a 4x multiple on whatever happens, right? I'm not telling anybody what to do. But just think about it from the perspective of a long-term holder. And I hope you're all able to make sound financial decisions. I know it's rough, right? But just try to have a long-term mindset and a good horizon, stake and chill. And I hope everybody enjoyed their Christmas. Do you guys have fun on the holidays? What's going on in the chat? What's up, Crypto Gains Club? What's up, Joe Smith? What's up, Finbear? How you doing? Let's see. Hector, Peter Lynn, Sam Bankman Greed. Yeah, there's a lot of good play on words we could do with Sam Bankman Fried. Sam Bankrun Fraud. I like that one. Sam Bankrun Fraud. Let's see. Every so often, a new coin targets and destroys hexagons. They feel great in the short term. That's right. You got to look at like these pumps too. On some of these short-term charts, people will post like a 5-minute chart and be like, look at this coin that pumps, 100% on a 5-minute chart because it's got almost no volume. It's got like $50,000 in liquidity, which means somebody with like 10 or 20 grand could just make one or two big buys and pretend like the price is going up temporarily. You need a little more time for a coin, to establish itself, I think, before you just start bragging, right? Like if you see volume picking up and if you see all these, liquidity going up and if everything's looking good over the course of a couple months, that's great. But if you're talking about trying to brag about a coin, that went up 100x in a couple of days because you're on the 5-minute chart, it's kind of funny. It's easy to dismiss people that don't know what they're talking about in crypto when they post anything like less than a 1-hour chart. If you're posting a 5-minute chart in crypto, you have no idea what you're doing. I'm sorry. I just got to say that. Fox Muldar says most coins are dead, so a price chart can't be found. They rug to zero. Yeah, a lot of coins, not most, but there's a lot of dead bodies. A lot of it's called silent evidence. Who's the guy? The guy that wrote Black Swan, Nassim Taleb. He's an anti-crypto guy. He's kind of a hypocrite, actually. But he invented the concept of silent evidence, right? For every one winner, you don't see the 100 losers. Nobody talks about the 100 losers because they're dead. They're silent evidence. And everybody wants to focus on what went right for this one particular coin and then try to copy that, or just try to emulate the success of a couple of those rare black swan events. And so, yeah, a lot of things in the past bull market and even today are getting rugged left and right. I just read a news article today. All you have to do is go to like the local crypto news aggregators. I follow Crypto Compare. Crypto Compare has a good roundup. It's called the Crypto Roundup, and they have newsletters. So I'll read you guys the news from today, right? Bitcoin's hash rate recovers from a 40% plunge. I'm sure the article fails to say that how many Bitcoin mining companies actually went bankrupt. Quite a lot of them did. Let's see. Cheap power and favorable mining regulations in Texas led to cryptocurrency mining boom in the state of Texas. Oh, that's good. So Texas is kind of where a lot of Bitcoin miners are aggregating right now. It's not bad. I mean, miners in America is not bad to me. Let's see. The network's hash rate fell on December 25th and now came back by 40%. But yeah, a couple of big mining companies, including one that Mike Alfred was invested in, LOL, went bankrupt. I mean, it's not only DeFi, it's not only rug pulls on Ethereum, it's a lot of Bitcoin companies as well. BlockFi, they were a Bitcoin lending company. Guys, when you trust middlemen, you're trusting people that it's their first time in these what used to be traditional financial markets. They don't always have the expertise, and especially if they're offering services that rely on more price stability, they're not always ready for the volatility of crypto, these centralized companies, right? So when shit hits the fan, they weren't, Sam Bankman-Fried wasn't expecting a bank run, but it was, in hindsight, it was really easy for a bank run to happen. Think about it. All it took was a tweet from CZ to, put some skepticism out there about Sam Bankman-Fried, basically skepticism that Bankman-Fried might not actually have as much assets and holding as he said he did. This caused a lot of chaos and panic and FUD, literally fear, uncertainty, and doubt in the FTX users. And what did they do? They all dumped their FTT token, and a lot of people tried to withdraw out of FTX for fear that FTX was insolvent. And by the sale of the FTT token, that just cascaded, that amplified the speed at which FTX collapsed, because a lot of their collateral was held up in their inflated FTT token. So once the users on the platform withdrew their funds and dumped the FTT token, it made it very, very clear that SBF was kind of caught with his pants down on that one. In other DeFi news, DeFi protocol Defrost Finance exploited via flash loan. See what I mean, guys? $12 million exploit just today. All you got to do is read the newspapers. All you got to do is check on the crypto news of the day. HEX has never been hacked. HEX has never been hacked. That's really remarkable. We got to focus on the positives here. Price is one thing, but a rug pull, a $12 million exploit, that could have been you. If you're out here playing around in new protocols and putting hundreds of thousands of dollars in there, you could lose it all. You could really lose it all. So just be careful. I'm not saying there's no other good products out there. There's plenty of good products. A couple handfuls, probably. Maybe 20 to 40 good products out there. But not this one. Not Defrost Finance. Exploited via flash loan. Judge withdraws from FTX legal proceedings over potential conflict of interest. Wow. Judge Ronnie Abrams has withdrawn herself from the legal proceedings involving FTX due to a conflict of interest. Abrams' husband, Greg Andrews, is a partner at Davis Polk and Wardwell, a law firm that served as an advisor to FTX in 2021. Well, that's good. That's not a bad thing. I mean, hopefully you get a little bit more of a fair trial. I mean, Abrams' husband was advising FTX and she was the judge. It seems kind of fair that she she would back out. She recused herself from the case to avoid a conflict or the appearance of a conflict of interest. I think that's a responsible thing to do. I think that's not a bad thing to do. All right. Money Melody. Copy, what's up? I hope you had a good Christmas. New Hexagon just staked a bit for 5 years. Do you think I should go higher? I think 5 years is a fine place to start, Money Melody. I think that's a great place to start. I mean, you're basically catching the fact that if there's a bull market in the next 5 years, some of your stakes will be coming due then, and you might be very, very happy with those gains. I think that's a fine place to start. But look, I mean, if you want to go higher, if you want to go longer, that's up to you. I have a 15-year ladder personally, but I definitely started out back in the old days. I started out with my my earliest stake, I think, was like 600 days. I never made a stake lower than 600 days at the beginning, right? And I think I staked from like 2 years to 4 years at the beginning because I was trying to time the bull market, just like a lot of people are doing right now, just like a lot of people are doing now. But then when I realized about T-shares and I realized that it's never going to get cheaper, I made a lot of longer stakes along the way. So after that early 2 to 4 year span, then I started filling in 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And at one point I just went full balls to the wall, 15 year. And yeah, I've got 15-year stakes now. So that's just what I do. But I think you're staking for 5 years is pretty good. Pretty safe bet that you might catch the next run up. You know what I mean? As long as we can recover a little bit by within 5 years, I hope so. Oh my God, I hope we're not in like a Great Depression type of deal, which I don't think we are. That's another thing. Beware. There's a lot of fear mongers out there. You know what I mean? A lot of people make their money on fear on the internet too. There's a lot of doom and gloom people. And so, for example, even my thumbnail and title today, the Great Crypto Conspiracy, let's talk about that. Yeah, to some degree that was put there for you to click on it because, hey, everybody loves a good conspiracy, right? And there are conspiracies to talk about. Like I just said, the FTX people, I believe, are conspiring to try to free Sam Bankman-Fried. I believe that's a legitimate conspiracy. So be careful about that. Be loud. Shout from the rooftops if you see injustice happening and Sam Bankman-Fried getting away free of charge, which he should not be. I think he should be in prison. But everybody likes a good conspiracy theory, and everybody likes to peddle this negativity where the world is always on the brink of apocalypse. The world is always about to end. And if you infect your mind with that stuff, if you focus on the doom and gloom, then your outlook of reality, your version and your lens in which you see the world, it's going to be very, very sad and depressing. You're not going to be happy or content. And I know we're not constantly happy. We're not just in pure ecstasy all the time. But if you infect your mind with distractions and news, negative news, because there's always negative news, right? If it bleeds, it leads. And YouTubers out there, there's a lot of YouTubers and social media personalities on Twitter that they do the same thing, because maybe a lot of these people are also infected by the existing doom and gloom narratives and conspiracy theories. And then they end up spewing it out on Twitter, even if they don't have to be a big person, a big following. They could just be a person with this mind virus that sees the world in such a negative light. And I know there's a lot of bad things going on. I'm not saying put your head in the sand and ignore all that, but the more you go down this doom and gloom, fear porn, news porn type of stuff, you know, this stuff is all designed to get you to click on it. Just like this thumbnail, just like this YouTube title, I'm explaining to you what's happening and how people are trying to get your attention. And some people are trying to steal your attention for worse. I'm trying to get your attention to lead to a better, hopefully more positive place, right? A place of abundance, not a scarcity mindset, a long-term delayed gratification mindset. I want you all to be rich and happy. I want you all to be financially free. I really do. A lot of people out there, they just make money from either ad revenue or selling their products or whatever it may be by telling you that the world's going to hell in a handbasket, which, you know, I could see that point of view. I really can. There's a lot of bad stuff going on in the world. I just try to focus a bit more on solutions, right? I'm a bit more solution oriented. Maybe that's just like a male quality, but if you're just sitting there complaining all day and not offering any solutions, you're wasting your time. You're wasting your time, right? Like, yeah, you could go down, you know, if you start clicking on a couple conspiracy theory videos on YouTube, the algorithm's going to recommend more in your up next row, you know, right to the right of your YouTube video, that up next playlist, that is designed for you to release the maximum amount of dopamine. And content creators know this. The YouTube algorithm knows this. Content creators play into the YouTube algorithm. I'm hoping that with the advent of social media, I'm hoping that we end up in a world where there's so much automatically generated content that we end up valuing quality over quantity, because we're in such an excessive culture right now. You know what I mean? Phones have planned obsolescence. The batteries aren't meant to last more than 2 years. You know, that's a real thing, right? It's all been publicly stated. And because our money supply is being devalued and inflated away and our purchasing power is being virtually stolen from us, inflation is just hidden theft. And it's causing us to, when we get money or when we get attention even, we try to give it away. We tend to give it away as soon as we have it because we don't know how much longer it's going to hold its value, right? And it's caused us to value short-term products and just excessive stuff or just shit, right? We accumulate shit that we don't need. And I'm hoping that with an overflow of shit, this is the glass half full, right? I'm trying to see a glass half full here, but with an overflow of crappy physical products, crappy digital products, crappy auto-generated content, because you can just make a whole YouTube video with AI today. You can go to Midjourney and make a thumbnail for your video. You can go to ChatGPT and you can make a title for your video. You can go to a different AI service and make a script for your video, and you can have Morgan Freeman. You can have Morgan Freeman read it, and it sounds exactly like him. You could even have a fake person. You could have a fake avatar that looks exactly like a human reading a video, and you don't have to be involved at all. And so we're living in this culture where there's so much being created all the time, products, services. I mean, even soon to be content, right? We're seeing it right now. There's a lot of garbage content out there. When you click on a YouTube video and it's some robotic voice and stock footage, just, it's really, a lot of people don't like that. And I think with the overflow of all this low tier, low quality content, and with the overflow of low tier, low quality money, we're finally seeing the pendulum swing in the other direction, whereas people like yourselves are actually choosing longer term products, digital currencies like HEX and Bitcoin, things that have stronger monetary properties. Because even Bitcoin, as much as we like to trash talk it, it's got a lot stronger properties than the US dollar. It's peer-to-peer, borderless, semi, emphasis on the semi, anonymous, right? Pseudo-anonymous, right? And same thing with, I think, our attention as well, because our attention is getting beaten to death. A lot of us are waking up. A lot of us are realizing that we need to choose real content creators, real human beings with real thoughts that actually have something to say that we could form some kind of a relationship with and that we can identify with in terms of their ideology and thought patterns, right? Because I don't know about you, but it's really hard for me to buy into a narrative if it's being generated by an AI, right? I'm not going to be buying any crypto tokens that are being read out by an artificial script. I really tend to, and I'm sure all of you are probably the same way. We relate to people. We're social creatures. We're animals that have a choice. And so we all have a choice. And I think, like I said, the pendulum is finally shifting back to stronger money, harder money, long-term products, buying a car that's going to last you a while. I mean, we've seen this in the used car market, right? I mean, people are buying used cars more than ever before because they don't want to buy new cars. And that's good. I mean, I almost think that's a good thing because people are valuing things that they know they're going to get a lot of bang for their buck out of, products that they know they're going to get a lot of real world value. So yeah, we're shifting from this culture from excess back to value. And we have to identify what are the valuable products, what are the valuable, ideas, what's the valuable content, because in a sea of total garbage, right, you need to have a good filter. So that's going to be the best skill that you can possibly have, I think, in the next decade. I mean, screw it, probably for the next century. I mean, we're in this pendulum, like I said, it's swinging back towards how does the saying go? The hard men create the weak times. We're in the weak times and we're creating the hard men and women, men and women out there. And a lot of the people I see in HEX are some of those hard men and women, those strong men and women, and have a long-term mindset that value their future on a decades-long time scale. They're not concerned about the next pump and dump, or the next coin of the week or the flavor of the month. They're tired of it. I'm tired of it. A lot of you guys are tired of all the crap being peddled to you, all the selfie sticks and the iPhone 14, the iPhone 15, the iPhone 15 and a half, the iPhone 15 and 3/4. It's bombarding us and it's bombarding our attention. We're tired of TikTok. We're tired of, no offense, but Gen Z mindless drones with their fake AI voiceovers doing little dances to lip syncing on popular songs. It's just garbage. Everything is garbage. And so I'm seeing a lot of people in HEX that are valuing their future. They're valuing long-term stable stores of value. And that's what HEX is. It's a long-term stable, secure store of value. It's a beautiful thing that Richard created, and PulseChain will be a great home for it. I can't wait for PulseChain to come out. Now, HEX, it's doing just fine on Ethereum, but the gas fee issues are making it unusable, right? So that's the point. That's the point of PulseChain. You know what I mean? The point of PulseChain is not to necessarily create a playground for scams, because that's what it's going to become. It's every scam is going to try to come to PulseChain and siphon your valuable attention away from it. But you got to be stronger, right? That's a conspiracy that people don't even know they're doing, right? A bunch of grifters coming over to make a generic scam coin. Let's call it a scam coin, right? There's going to be hundreds of them when PulseChain launches, and they're all going to be siphoning off your attention, trying to steal narratives that they thought works for certain coins. You're going to even see copies of like Pulse Bitcoin and Pulse Dogecoin. Like we already have 2 Pulse Dogecoins, and you're going to see scammers come in and try to like make the next Pulse Dogecoin. And then you're going to see scammers come in and try to make the next Pulse Doge, the copy of the copy, right? We've seen it with HEX. We've got wannabe copies of HEX, and then we've got copies of the copies, and we've got like, back in the day, it was Hex Money, right? Hexy, HXY. Then it was Hexy V2, and then it was Hexy V3. And then I think that, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they rebranded to something completely different. And, you got the stuff that Trayvon's always coming out with a new one. I don't think these people actually believe that they're scamming and grifting, but they're siphoning attention. And I think we'd all be better off if we just tried to go for quality things of value that last a long time. But some of these people, they're going to know whether or not they're deliberately scamming people. They're not going to be making a product that's designed to last longer than a couple months. And a lot of products are going to be shifted to, again, try to steal your attention. And they're going to be pointed right at you. But the only thing that the developers care about, or the creators care about, is getting their pump, cashing out after, let's say, 3 months. And then they don't care if the coin dies or not. They move on to the next one. Look at people's actions. Look at people's track records. What are these people known to do? I mean, even look at people like, was it Gavin Wood or whoever created Steemit? Who created Steemit? Creator of Steemit. Ned Scott and Dan Larimer. Dan Larimer is notorious, right? For some reason, people give Dan Larimer a pass in crypto, and they consider him kind of neutral or maybe one of the good guys. I mean, here's a founder that just hops around from product to product, leaving them half-baked because he's on to the next thing already. He doesn't nurture his products. He's not a Richard Hart, you know what I mean? He doesn't stick around. He just hops from project to project and doesn't care. After he moves on to the next one, he doesn't care about the previous one. And I get that. Like, to a degree, that's how businesses work. That's how businesses are supposed to work. I'm picking on Dan Larimer. He's not the devil. He's not the worst of the worst. But he's an example of a founder that I wouldn't really want to get involved in, because if you look at his history, all the coins he's created, yeah, they might have pumped for a year or two, but after a 5-6 year time scale, they're basically dead in the water. And, the service might be up. Yeah, Steemit might still be up, but how's the Steemit token doing? Take a look, actually. I'm curious. Steemit price. Steemit. Steemit. All time. Yeah, it's not looking so hot, guys. Not looking so hot. It's down from its initial launch in June of 2016. Launched at 88 cents in 2016, and it's 15 cents in 2023. Not the best store of value, right? And this guy, he hops around. Again, I'm using him as an example, right? I'm just using him as an example, but I don't want to touch stuff like that. And where was I? Yeah, they're going to be pitching that to you on PulseChain, so just be careful, right? Not every new coin can do a 10,000x. Not every new coin can do even a 1,000 or 100x. This 10,000x thing is a really, people don't realize, it's a really lofty goal to do a 10,000x. Only a few coins have done it. Ethereum and Bitcoin and HEX. Maybe a couple others, right? Probably Aave, maybe a couple others too. It's really, really rare, and so you see it happening right now. One coin does a 10,000x, and then all these coins come out of the woodwork. All these little worms come out and they say, hey, my coin's going to do a 10,000x. And it's like, there's not really enough attention. It's not even about the money. There's not enough attention for all of your coins to do a 10,000x, because the money goes where the attention goes. And that's really as simple as that. So look at, what do you think is going to have the most attention around it in the next bull market? My bets are on HEX. My bets are also on a couple other coins, right? My bets are on a couple of little side games, but HEX, PulseChain, PulseX, I really think are going to be the top performers in the next bull. So what do you guys want to talk about? I can answer questions for a little bit. He worked with Brock Pierce, who was very shady and one of the guys who started USDT. Look up what Brock was arrested for in Spain. Ooh, should we go there? Should we go there? I know Brock Pierce. He's apparently he lives in Puerto Rico, and he's one of the Bitcoin OGs, right? He was an actor for a while. I know that about Brock. I didn't think Brock was a bad guy. I don't think USDT is necessarily, I mean, it's a necessary evil, right? It's a stable coin. We need more stable coins. It may or may not be fully backed, right? Probably not. Look up what Brock was arrested for in Spain. All right. Brock Pierce arrested in Spain. They were arrested in Spain. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, my God. Yikes. Assault, death threats, and rape. That's not good. Well, that's that. I don't want to look into that anymore. Brock Pierce might not be the best kind of person. I don't know. Hey, it could be fake news. I don't know. I've never heard much about that. Crypto Bigfoot. We're going to Spain, boys. I've never been to Spain, but it sounds like it'd be great. Let's see. Yeah, that's wild, man. I never heard that story before. I mean, I looked at him as a neutral kind of person, not like good or bad. Alrighty then. You didn't know? No, I didn't. I did not know. I don't follow. See, that's the thing. It's like I don't. There's enough crazy stories out there to get wrapped up in all day long, and you know, I do go down these rabbit holes sometimes, but it's not good for my mental health. You know what I'm saying? Hi, what do you think about contract selling if there is a token with taxes? Contract selling if there's a token with taxes. Well, a token with taxes is usually not the best idea. It's not really a new idea, and I haven't really seen any tax tokens perform very well over the years. Are you talking about if the smart contract is selling the token? That's probably a terrible idea, right? Like, why would you want to invest in a token where the contract dumps some of the token? Like, that's not good for the price. I think that sounds like a bad idea if it is what I think it is. Happy Christmas, Hex Sailing. Merry Christmas to you. I hope you all got what you wanted. Hope you all gave yourself the mad gains, the gift of mad gains on Christmas. Let's see. Coffee spitting real knowledge. Thank you. I try. Hello, SJ. Good to see you. Let's see. Willow Dreams. Holy cow. Yes, my freezer just went out. I said planned obsolescence. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, I mean, you know, you can look at a refrigerator from 1970 and that thing is still working. I was just at my grandma's house and all of her appliances are probably like, I don't know, probably 50 years old at least. And maybe longer, 60 years old. And yeah, they still work. They still work fine, you know. I don't know about, you know, modern day Samsung refrigerator. I don't know if that's going to last long. You know, we've really created these weak times. And so, yeah, again, these weak times making these strong people, and these strong people one day will have the privilege of making weak times again. But we need to prepare ourselves. We need to have the right mentality because there's going to be one segment of humanity that's freaking out, lost, directionless, scared, angry, screaming at each other. You can see it on Twitter, right? The type of person that just argues with random people on Twitter all day. How do you think that person is in real life? They're not doing okay. They're not doing so hot in real life. You know, they're probably a nervous, anxious wreck. And it's hard to not fall into that, those habit loops, those cycles, those thought patterns. But we have to break free. And the way we can break free is by attaching ourselves to other people with the same basic ideologies, other people that value things like freedom, delayed gratification, long-term mindset, positivity, unity, not animosity, right? We're not peddling fear porn, news porn. You can see it on Twitter all the time, man. That Narwhal guy, whatever his name is, Mr. Narwhal, he's really milking it, right? He's milking the fear porn. He's got a new Twitter space every day. He's also got some giant advertising agency behind him trying to pump his numbers up. So he's got this formula that's kind of down. He's doing almost what the mainstream media does, where if it bleeds, it leads. And he's got a new Twitter space every day where they're just talking about the news, but they're sensationalizing the news. And a lot of us, myself included, I got wrapped up in it when the whole FTX thing was going down. When that was unfolding, I was watching this Narwhal guy's live Twitter spaces. And it feels good, right? To a degree, you feel like, oh, I'm in the know. I'm one of the smart ones. I'm ahead of the curve. I really understand what's going on. But after a while, you're just like, damn, this is all just a waste of time. I think Richard talked about that too. It's just you realize it's a waste of time because all you're doing is sitting in a room with a bunch of people, maybe waiting for your turn to talk and sound smart so you can give yourself a little pat on the back. And what did you really achieve? You're just talking about the news and talking about your opinions. It's like you could tweet that. You could tweet your opinion and then move on with your life and then go create something or go share an idea. I saw this idea of the pyramid the other day where you have creators, you have contributors, and you have consumers. And so creators are the top 1% of the pyramid. Contributors are the top 10% of the pyramid. I'd say everyone in this chat room is probably either a creator or a contributor, and that's the top 10%. But the other 90% of people are just consumers. They don't contribute anything. They don't make anything. They just consume. And of course, I consume. We all consume content. It's just hard because you can't fall into these traps. You don't want to be in that 90%. And I think with all these automation tools, we've got AI, we've got things that make our lives a lot easier. I think a lot of that 90% of consumers is going to become creators, or at least they have the ability to. You know what I mean? In the past, it was really hard. You had to be at a news media company, or you had to own a printing press if you wanted to control the media and control the narrative. Now everybody can control the narrative. Anybody can. And so there's going to be an inflow of creators. And this kind of goes along with what I said earlier. There's going to be all these new creators. And it's going to be our job to really separate what's legit and what's not. What's feeding our mission and our values and what's going against that. Because a lot of people are just going to be wasting your time. Like Marwal guy. All right. Let's talk about your side bets. Okay. Well, yeah, I did a side bet on liquid loans, fiat, famous. What else? Mad Energy. I've got it written down somewhere. Sometimes I lose track. But yeah, those are some of the coins that I think they fill a niche. And I'm just betting on the teams doing a good job. They don't have a track record that I know of, but Power City, I didn't invest in Power City, but I'm starting to have some respect for them. Yeah, they seem pretty good. Yeah, I guess those are my side bet. I like things that I think are going to help the ecosystem by bringing in more people, providing a service. So lending and leverage are two services that are necessary for a fully functioning financial ecosystem. Yes, people can use them the wrong way. There is a right and wrong way to use them. So I try to educate people and say, don't just go taking a loan if you don't know what you're doing. Do not just go leverage trade if you don't know what you're doing. But some of these coins, like the fiat token, they're kind of just a revenue sharing platform. NFT platforms, right? So there's got to be an NFT platform on PulseChain. Oh, there's like 4 of them out there. You've got HPX, you've got NFT on Pulse, you've got Pixel Park, and you've got Mintra. You've got 4 NFT platforms coming to PulseChain. I have no idea what's going to win. I've known Gerardo for a while, so I took a small bet on Gerardo's Mintra. And it's not only Gerardo. Obviously, there's a whole team behind it, but I think that's going to be all right because he's forking, what was it? Looks Rare. And I know Looks Rare got a lot of attention in the last bull market. It has a couple of cool ideas baked into the coin. It's basically just a profit sharing, revenue sharing token where if you stake it, you get a proportion of the fees generated by the platform. So, yeah. Let's see. I think that's all I'm in. I think that's all. I'm sure I might be missing something. Been a long time since RH has done his stream on his own channel. I hope he gets back to it soon. Yeah, he's sick. So, Richard, if you're watching, I hope you feel better. It'd be lovely to see you on a live stream. Just the old-fashioned way. Just you and the camera for an hour or two. I think everybody would love that. But hey, I'm sure he's working on... sounds like he's working on the museum right now. I wonder if PulseChain will have a token in the ecosystem that deals with personal health like Steppen. Reward people for good habits. You can reward people for good habits, but I haven't seen a token be successful at that yet. Like Steppen? I don't think that did very well. Steppen token. Does it have a price? Steppen crypto. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, it seems to have kind of flatlined, but it's not a terrible idea, I guess. I mean, it is financially rewarding people for good behavior is proven to work really, really well. So hopefully, I mean, it'd be nice if somebody found a way to incorporate HEX into that or existing coins without having to make a new coin. But yeah, it's like, you'd have to do a lot of funding up front for the rewards. Maybe there's a creative way to get users to pay a subscription for the platform, and the subscription model can maybe fund the rewards. So certain people that don't follow through, on their behavior that they say they're going to do, they end up paying the people that do follow through on their behavior. Yeah, you could have a similar model. That's kind of what HEX is, right? HEX is almost like contingency management for your life, for your personal savings account, because the people that don't follow through end up paying directly to the people that do follow through. But yeah, Steppen's a pretty cool idea, and I think that there's probably room out there for some kind of rewarding good health habits, personal health habits. But I think you can also just incorporate existing tokens into that kind of a thing. Let's see. If your fridge has Wi-Fi, you probably got a bad deal. Yeah, that's funny. Happy New Year. What's up, Dip Catcher? I saw your charcuterie board, brother. And it was a great painting. I saw on Twitter you painted a old dog or something. Maybe it was a horse. I love following that guy. Red Squirrel, Tetra is a service. Tetra. Okay, I never heard of Tetra. Does not compete, adds an extra layer across chains, and solves problems you don't realize exist yet. Wow. I like the sound of that. Is it like a layer 0 type of thing? Is it like a Cosmos, like a connector of blockchains, or is it like a side chain? Yeah, Tetra sounds interesting. There's so much stuff you could look up. I could spend all day researching new protocols. Unfortunately, there's only 24 hours in a day. How many bull cycles did you have to go through before you got rich? 2. Just 2. Yeah. Like they say in crypto, like your first bull cycle is all learning. Your first bull cycle is educational. Very, very few people actually play their first bull market cycle right, because it's all brand new, and you're not used to the euphoria, and you're not used to the pain of the dips. But if you can survive, it's a game of attrition. It really is a game of last man standing, and we're seeing that play out right now. We're seeing all the people that didn't think long term, that got scared. They're running away. They're emergency end staking. They're selling their liquid HEX. Well, I think a lot of people that are selling, that would have sold their liquid HEX, have sold their liquid HEX. The only, HEX is kind of at a low point right now in terms of volume, which is usually a good signal for a reversal, right? When volume gets low, volatility is cyclical, right? Volatility expands and contracts, and we're in this contraction of volatility right now, meaning we're due for an expansion. We're due for a new phase of volatility, a new phase of volume. But yeah, if you're still here, and if you can actually see the bigger picture, that's all it really takes is 2 cycles, I believe. Right. Yes, all DEXs, PCS, Uniswap sell native tokens to collect taxes from project. Not understanding that. Right. I see this time as an opportunity. Yep. It's all about the choices you make now. That determines the reality you have in the future. Whatever you choose to do or not do, you have a choice. Mario somebody spelled his real name. I like Narwhal better. I'm gonna call him Mr. Narwhal. Just like showing up for your show. Are you talking about being a contributor? Yeah. Anyone that shows up for my show is a contributor. Thank you guys for showing up. You're all really doing your part. Everybody commenting, likes, subscribe, share, comment. Make HEX go viral. That's contributing. Post on Twitter, say something insightful, say something of value. Don't detract. Don't just spew hatred and negativity. Pretty much all of us, I would say, are contributors or creators. It's a beautiful thing. And at some point, right, that's the only people left at the bottom of a bear market. A lot of people, the only people remaining are the ones that want to contribute or create. And it's pretty cool because my viewership has kind of remained the same for a while. It's even gone up slightly at certain times. And I still get about 5,000 to 6,000 views on some of my videos, because what that tells me is all 5,000 to 6,000 of you are still interested, still here, still active in the community. I mean, that's pretty powerful. And think about all the people that are just staking their HEX and silent, and that just don't talk to anybody, that aren't even on social media. When I went to London, I met a lot of those types of people that they were like, hey, I know you, but you don't know me. I just kind of, sit in the background and stake HEX. And I'm like, dude, that's awesome. That's totally fine. You don't have to be involved at all. I would just prefer that you don't be a detractor, right? I'd prefer that even if you do sell your HEX, that you're not just a net negative for the community, because we've seen that happen, right? See these people dump, and then they're just on this weird ego trip where they just want to hurt HEX and maybe help, create their new token. You don't have to hurt one thing to like another, right? It's such a scarcity mindset. It's like you don't have to take away from someone else's thing to pump your own bag. And the people that do that, the people that choose that strategy, a lot of times it backfires on them, because people don't want to associate with that type of behavior. Hey, Sean Lundy, thank you for the subscribe. Hit the likes, guys. Yes, please. Yes, please. Why do the cycles still continue as is? When is there so much educational information available? What? I'm trying to understand this question. So I believe the cycles will continue. I don't believe that it's always going to be as simple as, 1 year of bull or 1 year of bear, 3 years of bull, right? We've gotten pretty lucky in cryptocurrency because it's existed in a quantitative easing environment, in a low interest rate environment. And basically crypto has existed in this abundant money environment. It's existed in a macro bull market for as long as it's ever existed. It's only as old as 2009, so it's not that old. Now, a lot of people are expecting it to play out the exact same way. I'm not so sure if it will, right? Like you're saying, with more educational information available, it's going to plateau. The mad gains will be gone one day. Maybe 5-10 more years, you're not going to maybe be able to have life-changing gains in crypto. But there might still be cycles of really, really high gains and really, really low losses. All I'm saying is, yeah, as things mature, as the markets mature, it gets easier and easier to say, but this time it's different, because really, I mean, how often can you just repeat the same cycle over and over? So, for example, everyone's expecting that when the next bull market kicks off, it's just going to be up and to the right for 2-3 years. And I don't think it's that simple, because with the Fed at their interest rates of like 4.5% right now, when they taper off rates, when they pivot, quote unquote pivot, it's not going to be a reversal, right? They're not going to bring rates back down to zero. All the pivot means is they raise interest rates 50 basis points instead of 75 basis points. And the market's going to get excited, and the market's going to say, oh, we're back. The bull market's back. But it's not necessarily yet. And we can enter this weird environment where things fluctuate up and down. Crypto might pump as real estate is dumping, right? Because real estate's the last domino to fall, because it's the heaviest object. It's the hardest to move. Things don't have to always be locked in tandem with each other. That just because that's our recency bias, that's what we've seen for the past 5, 6, 7 years, is everything goes up and to the right because of this money printing. What goes up must come down. So it's not always going to be that simple. We might see crypto, my prediction, and just a prediction, right? It doesn't have to happen this way. My prediction is that we could see a pump in crypto on the Fed reversal, and obviously PulseChain would help the whole HEX situation as well. But we might not see new all-time highs. We might get this pump where we go to around 20, 30 cents in HEX. For example, I'm just using HEX as a reference point, and all the other cryptos will probably pump too. But we don't make new all-time highs, because then the Fed goes back into quantitative tightening again. Like, we might go into quantitative easing, but that doesn't just mean we go right back down to zero interest rates. We might fluctuate in this weird, 4 to 7% federal funds rate for many years. That's what I was trying to explain in a tweet that I made the other day. I don't know if I explained it fully eloquently, but we might have a high interest rate environment for a couple of years. And when you think about it, having an interest rate of 0% is not a good thing for an economy. It's kind of a sign of a weak economy. Like if you have to make interest rates 0% in order to stimulate growth, it's not sustainable. You know, there really should be some non-zero federal funds rate that's higher than 1 or 2 maybe. So a lot of people think that they're just going to bring it right back down to 0. I don't know. They might, but they might not. And so we have to get ready for the situation where maybe crypto pumps, but then maybe it retraces back down to, you know, if we're using HEX as a reference point, maybe HEX retraces back down to 5 or 10 cents again. And then we just kind of bounce around in a sideways range for maybe all of 2023, maybe a part of 2024. But then when we're finally into this phase of things are better, you know, it might be 3-4 years from now, then maybe we make new all-time highs. Now, it's not to say like you can't make any money in the next couple of years. I think crypto is a fabulous opportunity to be, you're in this volatile asset class, relatively low liquidity. It pumps way harder than anything else. It reacts way faster to the news than anything else. So I think people buying crypto now are going to be rewarded in the next couple of years. But it might not be as simple as we go to a new blow off top and do all-time highs again. I don't know. I'm not trying to FUD. You know, I'm just considering what every situation could be. Hey, Monica from MoFit Meals. How you doing? Good to see you. Just know that just be why you're here letting us know. Moon fog. What? Oh, moon fog. Oh, you're not talking to me. Moonfog still waiting on PulseChain. Me too, bro. Me too. Salvador says, yeah. Well, I say, yeah, as well. Crypto face killer. Monica, you're a freaking hottie, and I'm watching all the cooking videos. Damn. Crypto face killer. Hitting on Monica. I love it. I love it. Hope all the Hexicans had a great Christmas. Hexican American. Yeah, I had a great one. I hope you guys did too. I mean, yeah, it's a great time to be alive. It's really good to just be with family and realize why we're doing this whole thing in the first place. You know, it's not just for yourself, right? You want a better life for your family and all your loved ones around you. And it's never been more clear, you know, at least with my family. It's a very positive, you know, loving environment, at least these days, you know. So it's good. It's good. A lot of good vibes on Christmas this year. Brandon said simping ain't easy. Simping ain't easy, but you got to do it whenever you can, even if that's in the crypto coffee chat box. I'm just kidding. Just messing with you, crypto face. Mango Junkie said, yeah, she is. Ooh, it's we're talking about Monica. Yep. You're my hero, bro. For real, for real. Thanks, crypto face. You're the man. Any updates on the release of the highest of stakes? No, I don't work for them, but I mean, we could take a look at the highest of stakes online. Highest of stakes. The real story of the most controversial figure in crypto and the fastest appreciating asset ever. Wow, that's a pretty, yeah. The new king of crypto or billion-dollar con man. Wow. Wow. That is, it's got my attention. I'll tell you that. I mean, their website is pretty good. Their website has got my attention. It says Q1 to Q2. So I imagine they'll probably sell it to somebody in Q1, and then it's up to the platform whether or not they want to just launch it right away or launch it in the future. I got a fever, and the only prescription is more crypto coffee. Nice reference. I got the reference. Don't worry. More cowbell. Monica's blushing. Oh, Monica, you deserve it. That thing gonna take off soon? Yeah, you talking about Hex? Yeah, I hope this thing takes off soon. Let's see. Did you learn about economics purely through crypto? Well, I learned about economics in high school and college as well. I took a macro and micro course. Economics is funny because they always use these perfect scenarios of supply and demand and curves, and economics really oversimplifies things. At least macroeconomics does. Microeconomics is actually very interesting because it deals more with like the local level scale, but it's also complicated that, you know, every model is just like they say every model is right until it's wrong. Like the Bitcoin stock to flow model, right? Everybody loved it. Oh, here's a perfect example: the Bitcoin rainbow chart. Let me show you guys this. There's a hilarious meme about the Bitcoin rainbow chart too. So everybody just drew this model for Bitcoin, right? That like they thought it had to follow this certain trajectory, this certain upwards parabola with diminishing returns over time. And to a degree, yeah, it does have diminishing returns over time. But look at the screen right here. You know, it bounces around from the blue to the red zone, blue to the red zone. But now it just fell out of the blue zone. And so they had to add in a purple. They just made up a new color because it broke the model, right? And so I often just find economists pretty funny because they have this false sense of security that they draw these models and they stand behind them as if they're the truth, but they're really just guys pulling numbers out of their asses, just like you and I. You know what I mean? I don't want to, if anyone's an economist, I don't want to offend you, but it's kind of funny. They make for good news articles. They make for good headlines and stuff like that. Like economists predict Bitcoin will be XYZ in 2025. But who are these economists, right? I mean, yeah, they've studied a lot, but even a broken clock is right twice a day. That's what they say. And Richard Hart posted a variation of the Bitcoin price chart where the rainbow chart, where the rainbow just goes all the way back down to zero again, which obviously it's a joke. It's a joke, but it's funny. Let's see, Bitcoin rainbow chart. See if I can find that one. Search. Bitcoin rainbow. All I search when I search Richard Hart rainbow is his flashy rainbow Louis Vuitton bags. Yeah, there's no let's see. Oh, here it is. I got it. Just you wait, boys and girls. This is actually really funny to me. All right. The new Bitcoin rainbow chart indicator. There's no pot of gold on the other side of this rainbow. This is all right back down to zero. Source look into bitcoin.com. Somebody just took the Bitcoin rainbow chart and mirrored it on the other side. I thought that was hilarious. LOL, I love the Richard Trollface rainbow heart. Yeah, exactly. The $1 billion con man if movie comes out with all the selling going on. Ooh, burn. Well, man, try to keep your head up. I know it's tough. Just try to stay positive. You know, go onboard some people. Have you ever watched the Bill Still's Secret of Oz documentary? No, I have not. What else? Yeah, I mean, hey, we've been talking for an hour. If anybody doesn't have any questions, I might wrap this one up for today. Just wanted to say Merry Christmas to everyone. Got almost 300 people here. That is a beautiful thing. Everybody watching, if you're still here at the bottom of a bear in 2022, I think 2023, we've got a bright future ahead. Okay, as far as I'm concerned, you are an OG of OGs. It really doesn't, there's no better time to participate in markets than when everybody is screaming that the prices are never coming back, crypto's dead forever. I was just watching this Vice documentary. Maybe I can pull this up. Let me just show you guys. Like, here's a really good sentiment indicator. Oh shit. Here. Oh, you know Vice, right? Vice is the news article, news company. They kind of used to be cool, and then they sold out, in my opinion. And there was a recent Vice YouTube video put up the other day called Scams, Zealots, and Jet Skis, Life Inside the Crypto Scene. So this guy went to the cringiest Bitcoin conference of all time, Bitcoin Miami 2022. And he's on record kind of exposing the insanity of it all. Now, unfortunately, he had to go to like the worst of the worst, right? Bitcoin Miami was like peak cringe, peak euphoria, you know, peak nerds. And it did not make crypto look very good. I'll tell you that. And yeah, there was a lot of accusations, right? Accusations of people, maybe harassment and all these terrible, terrible things that makes me embarrassed to be associated with crypto, right? But luckily I wasn't here. I mean, this is Bitcoin Miami that they went to, and they're interviewing, people like Max Kaiser, who's literally saying, yes, I am the patron saint or whatever of Bitcoin. He's like, I am the high priest of Bitcoin. That's what he says. And part of you is like, I think he's joking, but then you look at his face and he's like, he's kind of joking, but you could tell he kind of believes it himself. And it's just this weird, bizarre thing where everyone's kind of playing along with this like LARPing. It's like they're all LARPing and kind of deluding themselves to a degree. And Vice does not paint it in a good look, but I wanted you to just read all the comments. And that's a good sentiment analysis indicator to me that we got to be close to the bottom, because, look at everybody in the comments. These are guys that don't know anything about crypto, that are watching Vice, to get all their information on crypto that they've probably ever gotten. People that are commenting on this video are the types of people that probably, this is all the information they've ever heard about crypto. They're not in the communities. They think it's just good or bad or evil, depending on who's crafting the narrative for them. And so look at these comments, right? I've been waiting for this and honestly was so surprised by how long they were able to get away with this. I just hope there aren't a lot of suicidal young men who got ripped off. I love watching everyone explain crypto with generalized buzzwords. Crypto, NFTs, and most of the crap peddled by influencers is a con or scam. You will lose all your investments. Facts, ... period. Criminals are different looking than they used to be. They are your favorite internet star or who you look up to. So much negativity, so many salty soy boys in the chat here, in the comments, that is. This is a deeply weird psychological phenomenon. I can't help but feel like crypto was a good idea until influencers, Bitcoin believers, and internet naive boomers get rich quick scammers got their fingers on it. Crypto wealth was great until corporate entities became involved. I actually agree with that comment. I agree. This guy is actually making sense. Crypto was good until corporations became involved. Seems like there's much more to the crypto scene that we don't know in full detail. Appreciate Vice for their hard work. Yeah, good job, Vice, interviewing the village idiots and making all of crypto look bad. Way to go, boys at Vice. You're really doing the Lord's work. Crypto is the biggest wealth transfer in history from the poor to the wealthy. That's kind of funny. Crypto is a prime example of everything that's wrong with modern day society. Wow. When you're seeing comments like that, 500 upvotes, people hate crypto right now, guys. People hate it. People hate it so much. This is a pretty severe example of the wealth divide growing even wider, blah, blah, blah. It's just people that don't understand the actual point of crypto. And they see Bitcoin Miami, and I got to admit, I can't blame them for what, after you see something as cringe as Bitcoin Miami, it doesn't help the narrative. You know what I mean? It doesn't help. So if somebody had a bad opinion of crypto, but look, the comment section is kind of just where all the losers of the world kind of congregate together. This reeks of a Tony Robbins convention. Wow, throwing Tony Robbins under the bus. I think Tony Robbins is not a bad guy. I think he does a lot of good. I remember the financial illiteracy in this country is quite sad. Okay, so everyone in crypto is financially illiterate. Let's see. Stop being scammed by Wall Street, get scammed by us instead. Yeah, guys, look at all these people that still think Bitcoin is a scam. This episode is really about Bitcoin only. Crypto is a way for poor people to hide their money. LOL, did he really say that? This video feels like it's a decade old given how things have moved for crypto. Crypto is another reason I don't feel good about the future. We don't even trust our currency. Well, that's kind of true, but that makes me feel good because I feel like there's a way out. We've got options. Interesting that Miami crypto jewelers have trouble dividing by 2 or doing 3rd grade basic math. I didn't watch the whole thing, so I don't know about that. The crypto crash has worked out great for me. I just purchased a secondhand graphics card for pennies on the dollar. Nothing worse than greedy rich people. That's right. You're all just greedy rich people, guys. This is what the mainstream village commoners, this is what they think. Well, gold and Bitcoin do have something in common. The production of both are extremely destructive to the environment. Okay, not wrong. I can't say that that guy's wrong. Unfortunately, he's actually right, but there's better stuff than Bitcoin. That's all I got to say. Let's see. My God, these are the rejects of the frat bros. Personal attacks. That's good. It's good. It's good to see. Poor BTC. When he mentioned Sailor, I cackled. Be better off with a bag of Chuck E. Cheese tokens. Scantily clad woman hanging out in the front yard, hoping to get into the party and gold dig a bunch of rich geeks because they're rich is one of the most desperate things I've ever seen. Well, yeah, probably. Respect to anyone that was strong enough to sit through the entire 22 minutes. I barely made it to 3. I'm done. Yeah, I made it about 3 or 4 minutes in as well. I came expecting crypto cringe. I was not disappointed. Yeah. So look, all I'm trying to say, what instrument of financial terrorism is indeed the most Bitcoin thing you can do. See, this guy believes that Bitcoin is actually for terrorism. He just bought into whatever, the mainstream media wants him to think. Dun, dun, dun. The Bitcoin point of view is very interesting. Yeah, well, at least it did focus on how crazy Bitcoin has become. And it kind of steered clear of DeFi, at least a little bit. This is why I stay off of social media as much as possible. I try to make a living, but would never try to scam people. When people just lump in, if they hear Bitcoin, they just feel like it must be a scam no matter what it is. Anything crypto must be a scam no matter what. And it's weird because these people are absolutely sure about that too. These people are absolutely sure. You know what I mean? So you try to change those people's minds, right? But they already have their opinion. So yeah, we're at the bottom of the bear market, guys. We're at the bottom of the bear market. Yeah, Max Kaiser sounding like a twat, not letting anyone say crypto. Exactly. Hey, that's kind of good, right? Max Kaiser making Bitcoin look even worse, and he's letting us keep the crypto name. So yeah, he does sound like a twat. I agree. I sold Pulse Doge at 11. Wow, good job. That's like the absolute peak, I think. So congrats to you. Zen blows, LOL. It does right now, that's for sure, but maybe someday. Who's waiting for HEX at 1.5 cents or 1.6 cents? It's hard not to pull the trigger right now. Yeah, if it goes to 1.6 cents and it bounces right back up to 3 cents, you could potentially take your initial profit back out and keep the rest. I don't know. Hey, Crypto Coffee, I heard you mention Jack Levin. Well, dude, I did a live stream with Jack Levin. I was the one that introduced Jack Levin to the whole community. I had no idea he'd make a coin at the time. I just thought he was a HEX fan. He was. I think he turned, right? I've seen him say some negative stuff towards HEX, which I'm not a big fan of, but I still have a neutral opinion on him. He's not bad or good. He just is what it is. But hey, if you actually want to watch it, go scroll back and watch my live stream with Jack. Thanks for your stream. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you, Peter. I'll watch the start. Love your content. Thank you, Monica. Thanks for always showing up. I appreciate you. Willow says, love your course. Thank you. Yeah, I do have a course. So hexpassiveincome.com if you're brand new to crypto. Get your hands on hexpassiveincome.com. Link in description below. It'll teach you not only about HEX and all that stuff, but security, setup, how to buy, how to stay safe, the basics of crypto, all the terminology. If you're brand new and you don't know what we're talking about up here, it's a really, really good bang for your buck. Pretty cheap. And it's worth way more than, say, an hour of my time. Some people charge, $150 for an hour of their time. Why not just get 8 hours of my custom-made videos, hand-tailored to you? You can go back and reference them whenever you want. You have all the links that you'll ever need, all secured in one place. Everything's organized from beginning to end in a timeline. Yeah, if you are brand new to crypto, or you want to gift it to somebody else, to onboard somebody else, check out hexpassiveincome.com. Shameless self-promotion there. I think it's a great onboarding tool, personally. And it's going to get updated, too. When PulseChain comes out, the course version 2 is going to be out. It's going to be good. I've been in crypto since 2015, and for the first time, I'm feeling the bear market a lot. It's a bitch, and I don't even know if and when it's going to go back up. Yeah, that is the tough part, right? But here's the thing. It's like we have to just kind of surrender to a degree, let the market do what it will. The thing is, nobody knows when it's going to go back up, and you can look on YouTube all day long. Trust me. I mean, I used to be a person in the last, yeah, you've been here since 2015, right? So the last bear market was tough. This one's a little bit different, but one thing I learned from the last bear market is that nobody really knows what's going on with the prices. Everyone's just guessing. And a lot of people out there act like they have the truth, and they try to pretend like they know exactly what's about to happen. And they'll use whatever narrative they want. Technical analysis is a common one. They'll draw a bunch of lines and say, well, 60% chance we go up and 40% chance we go down based on all these random lines and indicators that I like. And you come to a point and you realize that everybody is just unsure, and just as unsure as you and me. And I'm one of the only people that I know that's actually openly admitting that I don't know. I don't know when the markets are going to come back. I'll tell you guys some scenarios I think are going to happen, but I'll always disclaim that with, hey, might not happen. I'm just some guy on YouTube. And yeah, one thing I learned in the last bear was that I was placing way too much importance on other people's opinions. Like, it was embarrassing. Like, I was listening to Tone Vase. You know what I mean? I was listening to like Benjamin Cohen, and these are all good people at the end of the day doing their best. But the more importance you place on one particular person having all the right answers, including Richard Hart, right? I mean, his 11K in Prey, yeah, I think he's probably going to be right on that. But the more you focus and the more attention you place on it, the more you distance yourself from that thing, the more you feel out of line, the more you feel out of sync with, the flow, the natural flow of things. So the more you can just kind of surrender, the less resistance you're going to feel, right? I'll sometimes actually go a couple of days without checking the price if I find that I'm checking it too much or checking it over and over again, and it's actually affecting my mental health, because it does. It gets to everybody. It gets to everybody. We don't know when it's going back up. I believe it'll probably show signs of reversal in the next 6 months, but that's just my belief. And I've got reasons for that, but it might not be right. And so I know it's tough, right? But like, one thing that helped me is to not put faith in anybody. Don't idolize anybody. Don't have a guru. Even Richard Hart, right? He's a guru for some things in one niche. He knows a lot. You can learn a lot from different people, but don't idolize them and hold them on this pedestal, because you're only going to be disappointed, right? Just do what you can, do what's within your control. And that's what I'm doing right now. What's within my control is talking about crypto, getting the message out there, explaining why people like HEX and PulseChain, explaining why we're excited about the future of crypto and what it was really meant to be. It was meant to take the power back into your own hands. It's a tool for financial freedom. It's like a knife. You can use it to chop your vegetables, or you could use it to stab someone. It's just, don't blame the tool, right? Don't be like those soy boy Bitcoiner, or even worse, don't be like the guys in the comments section of the Bitcoin video. You know what I mean? Hey, Hopperman donated $5.55. Thank you very much for that. Happy New Year, and hopefully happy new chain. Yeah, I agree. Happy new chain. Fingers crossed. But that's all I have to say, is I try not to place too much importance on any individual anymore. And I try not to have a guru. You need to be your own guru, and just look inside, look to yourself to try to find the knowledge that you kind of already know. And the more you try to trust other people with their predictions, you're only going to be disappointed. That's why Richard doesn't give predictions anymore of when PulseChain will be launched. He tried, and he ate a lot of shit for that. Oh God, same. Cohen and Vase, Eric Crown. But I actually like Eric. He's got some good content. Yeah. There's all kinds of people. There's no shortage of people you can listen to for your daily dopamine hit. But that's all it is. They're giving your daily dopamine hit of the crypto news, and it's, hey, the price could go up, down, or sideways. Maybe 60% up, 40% down. But I don't know. I could be wrong, right? That's all they're really saying at the end of the day. And you just watched a 15-minute video thinking that you have some more level of certainty about it. Like, you're not going to get much more certainty in the near term if you're focused on what's going to happen tomorrow or even next week. But the longer time frame you look out, you can kind of get a better feeling internally of, is crypto going anywhere? There's foundational beliefs that you can have that increase your conviction in crypto as an asset class in general. It's like, can this be shut off? No. Is PulseChain going to launch at some point? Yes. 99.9% sure. And like, it doesn't matter. It comes to a point where it doesn't matter when these things happen, but as long as they do happen, or as long as there's foundational truths, like, is crypto actually decentralized? Yes. Do I hold my own private keys? Yes. Like, that helps me realize that crypto is not going anywhere. And if you're on the right side of it, if you're doing crypto the right way, is my HEX staked in a 100% immutable smart contract that's been audited 3 times? It's never been hacked. Yes, it is. So all these things just help you get a better sense of your future when you're looking into the future. But it takes a more long-term view of the future to feel better, I think. Because I notice it in myself too. Whenever I get nervous, anxious, depressed, I'm focused on what's happening in the very near future and all the uncertainty, right? For some reason, that causes me more stress than just saying, well, 3 years from now, things are probably going to be better, you know? So you just do what you can for right now, wait till whenever those good times come again, and that's all you can do. And it actually feels a lot better in the day-to-day. Yeah, Fox Muldar says, entire space is boring AF. I wish I could just hibernate for a year. I've had that exact same thought. I wish I could just I wish I had that remote control from Click, you know, that Adam Sandler movie. I wish I could just fast forward by 1 year and just see where we're at. The prices are still down. Fast forward 1 more year. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's the thing. That's a good point, liberty or death. Our society is conditioned to want it right now. So mastering patience is are the people that will succeed in investing. Yeah, that's a good point. Give me liberty or give me death. I think that's you. Yeah, we're conditioned to want instant gratification. This whole entire journey of crypto that I've been on has been a game of teaching myself delayed gratification. Like, I'm learning it myself too, and I've got a better grasp on it than I did 4 or 5 years ago, for sure. That's an absolute fact. I've definitely got a better handle on my own emotional thought patterns and my own time horizons on which I'd like to see things happen. But we're playing long-term games, right? Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Play short-term games, win short-term prizes, or lose, right? If you're a trader. But yeah, mastering patience is really just mastering your own thought patterns, mastering your own self, which is hard to do. It's kind of a paradox too. Bitcoin is the barometer and the driving force for crypto, so need it to succeed even if it's junk. Yeah, I don't think it's junk, right? It does the job of permissionless, you know, well, I guess the developers could change the code whenever they want. Bitcoin is definitely needed. I don't want Bitcoin to die. That would be a huge setback, right? I just think there's better stuff out there. Dude, you're right on. It's all dopamine hits. That's why I appreciate your content. It's not what we want to hear. It's just truth. Yeah, well, it's as true as I can make it. You know, I'm on this journey with you guys. You know, I'm just learning along with you. But yeah, if you're watching the daily Benjamin Cohen video, it's like, let's take a look at this Bitcoin indicator today. This Bitcoin indicator says we can go up or down. Wow, shocker. And it's like, he'll have another video the very next day saying some other indicator. Let's see what this indicator says about Ethereum. Let's see what this indicator says about Cardano. And at some point, you're just like, what did I actually learn? Like, I didn't do shit with the last couple hours of my life. I've just been scrolling through YouTube videos. NAD, nervous, anxious, and depressed. New coffeeism. Lol. Is that like FUD? FUD and NAD? If you listen to FUD, you're going to get NAD. If the goal of Bitcoin is to be the everyday coin, I don't know. See, everybody that you talk to is going to have a different opinion, right? The goal of Bitcoin, it was supposed to be peer-to-peer digital cash, but it's terrible for that because it takes 10 minutes to confirm once. So I don't think Bitcoin will be the everyday coin. I think Lightning Network is very, very behind as well. I think other coins can easily do faster transactions than Bitcoin can. I mean, even HEX makes a better currency, quote unquote, than Bitcoin does because it's 13 seconds to confirm rather than 10 minutes. But neither of them are good currencies right now. Neither of them are good everyday coins. But let me read the second part. And if some altcoins make it into our society, then Bitcoin is just useless because some alts will provide better services. Well, see, that's the thing. It's not everything or nothing. But yeah, a lot of people, I think people are going to look at Bitcoin as their gateway drug into crypto still for a little bit. And in the next decade, I think it's going to be phased out. I mean, it took about a decade for institutions and mainstream media to accept that Bitcoin is here to stay. And they're just getting their heads around Bitcoin. They have no idea about things like HEX or DeFi, Ethereum, Arbitrum, AVAX. They don't know what any of these things are. So Bitcoin is a gateway drug and it's necessary, but we don't need Bitcoin. Once people start to understand alts, I don't think Bitcoin just dies overnight. I think Bitcoin slowly gets phased out over time as people realize and wake up to the fact that there really is better stuff out there, but we still need Bitcoin. I don't want to throw Bitcoin under the bus. We still need it 100%. In 3 years, you will wish you could go back now and buy HEX. I think that sounds true. You know what I mean? Problem with Bitcoin is not private. Yeah. Hey, so there's a pretty cool privacy solution out there, guys. ZK. What was the thing that Richard just posted? Let me look it up. I want to share this with you guys because it's something worth trying out. Bitcoin, ZK, something. Dun, dun, dun. ZK.money. So it's kind of like using incognito mode for your coins. ZK.money, apparently it works for DAI and ETH. And you can have ZK DAI and ZK ETH. This is another privacy solution, potentially better than Tornado Cash, or just different, right? Not better or worse, just different. But give it a shot. ZK Money. As far as I know, it hasn't been turned off by the U.S. government yet. At least the front end, you can't stop the underlying code, of course. But yeah, Richard says financial privacy is a prerequisite for capitalism. I couldn't agree more. Apparently, one can get privacy using ZK Money. Perhaps try it. So I would guess that Richard has tried it. I would guess if he's posting about it. And I would assume that he likes it. So give that a try. ZK.money. Let me put that in the chat. ZK.money. I'll give that a try too. Next time I get a chance to. Some new tweets from Richard Hart. Every so often, a coin targets and destroys some hexagons. They feel great during the short green part, then doom. For example, this coin is 2 years old. Most are so dead the price chart can't be found. They rug to zero or migrated to zero, or just have no more trades. I think he's posting the WISE token. Yeah, that's an awful, awful chart. I won't even bring it up. I mention it because some of you are falling for it again and again, even as we speak. I'm pretty sure I know what he's talking about. Pretty sure you guys know too. These charts that only go down, that promise you the moon, that use all kinds of crazy, weird language, thinking they're going to be the greatest thing ever. I mean, just look at the price chart. Which one of these things do you want to hold over a long time frame? Do you want to hold the one that has an infinite mint bug built into the code? I don't think so. All right. People are so stupid, they fall for the same scams again and again. SafeMoon was a copy of Proof of Work 3D, POW 3D. A Bitcoin copy mined on Ethereum also already has existed for over 4 years. People are stupid. They like getting scammed by rebooted old scams. Yeah, it's called a reloading scam. That's a tweet from Richard. They just reload. They reload you. They take the same things. Proof of weak hands. Yeah, SafeMoon was a copy of Proof of Weak Hands. And a lot of people shilled it, even people in the HEX community. Some people out there, and they still don't want to admit they were wrong. It's so crazy to me that a lot of people that shill this stuff that goes to zero or rug pulls, all you got to do is say sorry. And be like, yeah, I was wrong, and move on. But people dig their heels in. They're like, no, it's somebody else's fault. Or some people are still in denial about the fact that they were wrong about SafeMoon. You know what I mean? It's like, man. You just can't change some people's minds, right? Pride, hubris. It's one of the 7 deadly sins. When I talk about scams and post a price chart without the name on it, people currently getting scammed by different scams, all think it's about the scam they're in. That's how similar all the scams are at their root. Yep, that's right. If you're all thinking about a certain coin right now, you're probably correct. We're probably talking about that exact same coin. Let's see. So many people forget that hex.com amazing APY isn't shown on the price chart. That's true. Let's see. People in crypto can't tell the difference between a chart that goes up and to the right versus down and to the right. If where you are now is higher than where you at in the USD chart, it's called profit. Zoom out. Pretty sound words from the old Richard there. I still feel sad thinking that I was at one point in a Telegram chat with only 200 people left in a coin that at one point had 5,000 people in it. Don't make that mistake. Listen to what Richard Hart just tweeted. Yeah, exactly. I was hanging on in 2018 to like some crap called, what was it? It was some blockchain built on Microsoft. It was, see, I can't even remember the names anymore. That's how bad they were. But I was in these Slack channels that were, what was it called? Stratus Crypto. And I was hanging on for dear life, and I was one of the last people in the groups. And I don't even think it's around anymore. Stratus. Yeah. All-time price chart. Death. Pure death. Just looks like every other price chart. Had one good pump and never again. Stratus, man. All right. Finbear finally made it home. Congratulations. Runesky says it went way below zero. Is that possible? Runesky, is that possible? He said he was in a scam called PegNet. No offense, but I mean, with a name like PegNet, you're probably gonna get pegged. It went way below zero. -0. Yeah, that's right, Max. That's right. I don't think it's possible to go below zero, bud, but that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. If you're in Zen right now, really look into PegNet, Runesky said. That's a good point. I'm just going to leave that comment up right there because a lot of these things, like these tokens, are not new ideas. The fair launch token, people don't remember Byteball in 2015. Byteball was given for free. You can mint it like as much as you wanted, and it was trying to bootstrap off of Bitcoin adoption. So it was free for Bitcoin holders, but forever, and people just sold it to zero. It's true. I got pegged. Left fast too. Aw. Sorry, Runeskis. Keep your head up, bro. I was super into XNO back in the day. Nano doesn't have any ad/marketing, but still acts like that's a good thing. So glad I listened to RH when I did. Well, yeah, no ads and marketing is not necessarily good or bad. It's more about the product itself, in my opinion. So OMG, yeah, OMG was another one. That's funny. Omise Go. It was some Asian coin. That was one that I bought in the last bull cycle, in the 2017 bull run. Was OMG. XNO. I don't remember that one, but yeah, James Myers. I feel like you've been around for a while, bud. I feel like we were buying the same shit coins in 2017. Runesky says, I was really in it because an ex-Ethereum dev, ex-Google team, it doesn't really help either. Trust. Runeskis, I really appreciate that comment because people need to hear that. The appeal to authority, it doesn't always work. Sounds good. I mean, hey, I got tricked into it. I was like, and Jack is a good guy. He's a good, smart guy. But just because you're really good in Silicon Valley doesn't mean you're an expert at crypto. It doesn't mean that. I mean, he made the coin in 3 months. He invented the idea and created a token a month after I interviewed him. And it took him like 3 months and he launched it. So look, I don't want to talk too much about it, but take it from Runeskis over here. Poor guy got pegged by PegNet, and the founder was on the Ethereum team. So appeal to authority is just another logical fallacy that doesn't always work. It can be good, but it can be bad. Just like advertising. It can be good, it can be bad. We definitely were, my dude. Yeah, we were. PGN PegNet mine for $5.60 for way to long fork of Raven. Oh, so it was related to Raven coin? I don't know. Oh yeah, Verge. I remember Verge. Lols. My first bear market. Unwavered thanks to you, Randy, and others. Thank you. Functional crypto. That's cool. I'm glad to hear that. We're all going to make it. Just be patient. Might take another 2 years, but I think we'll see some gains eventually. I really, really believe that. I really, really do. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here. If I didn't believe crypto was coming back, I would just shut my channel down. I wouldn't be here. Can't remember the exact date, but PulseX SAC was a year ago today. Cool. That's a long time. But at the same time, it's not. A year flies by. Let's see. Would you buy Hex right now or Hedron? I'd buy Hex because I can mint Hedron. Why would I would always buy Hex rather than Hedron, just because why wouldn't you just buy the coin where if you stake it, you can mint Hedron for free? You know what I mean? It's like a Hex stake is a Hedron money printing machine. So personally, to me, I don't see, I mean, I would always buy Hex before I'd buy Hedron, but hey, I don't give financial advice. You can buy whatever you want. Hex got Shemita'd. Yeah, I got Shemita'd hard. Is the Shemitah over? I think it's over now, right? Yeah, I think the Shemitah is over, so we can all go back to living our life again. That little Shemitah, we caught him. We caught the Shemitah. Christmas was horrible. Sat at the table with family that once loved me. Oh, come on, dude. I'm sure they still love you. I'm sure they still love you. You can't be promising your family stuff. Yeah, expectations are where people get sad. Let's see. Check out these guys. Coffee. Oh, privacy solution. Interesting, Red Squirrel. I'll check it out. You're all young guys. I'm over 60 here. Less time for me. Any suggestions on strategy for an older guy? Well, I mean, hopefully you make it till 75, right? I mean, you can do a 15-year ladder, but maybe make a 10-year ladder. Maybe start with a 5-year ladder. Depends. How healthy are you? It'll also, you might find that when you stake your Hex, you might choose healthier life decisions. I mean, 60's it's old, but it's not that old. You know what I mean? You've got a lot of time, I think. His name is Late Starter. It's a good name. Look, man, you might not want to go 15 years, but I mean, like that other guy, right? He started with 5 years. Seems like a good place to start. Not financial advice, but yeah. I don't know. I think you can make it till 75, bro. I think you got what it takes. But Hedron stakes produce Icosa. Oh, that's a good point. That's a good point. You could sell Icosa and buy Hex. Yeah. But at the same time, I don't know. Icosa's at a discount right now to what it should be. I don't know. You could buy Icosa and wait till it goes back up to the parity point. It should be worth about 33 Hex for one Icosa. Look, it's whatever game you want to play. They're all self-referential. I like to start with Hex personally, but Hedron, you might think Hedron can pump harder. Maybe Hedron has a little lower liquidity. Maybe you think Hedron is like a leverage play on Hex. Maybe that's one way to look at it. Look, it's all up to you at the end of the day. And yeah, you could sell Icosa and buy Hex, of course. But if everybody does that, then Icosa will never get back to parity either. So everyone's buying for different angles. Some people are buying Icosa because they think it's going to go to parity. Some people might buy Hedron because maybe they think it's like an amplifier of the Hex price. Maybe they think it'll also get them Icosa yield. And some people like Hex because they know it's going to get them Hedron yield. It's all different strokes for different folks, basically. I feel like PulseChain and Hex are waiting till the house is finished to buy back in. Yeah, people are waiting till the house is finished. Hard to buy a spec house at framing stage. That's a good way to look at it from a real estate point of view. There's a lot of people waiting with I know there's a lot of people with a lot of stable coins on the sidelines just waiting to put that back to crypto. I am of the belief that when people do put their stables back into crypto, a lot of that stable are going to flow into Hex. That's just my belief. I was late to get into crypto, bought the top, realized I made a mistake, and now DCAing on my way to a lower average. Cool, Pep4. Pep4, that's awesome. I think you got the right idea. That's a good way to look at it. I'm glad you're dealing with the bear market in, I think, a good way. I only have HEX. I don't want to mess with Hedron or Icosa. I mean, I just stake my Hedron and my Icosa. I just stake everything because why not, right? If it all pumps one day in the bull market, I don't really want to sell anything to the bull market. You don't get much Icosa from the Hedron stake. Oh, well, don't you get more when like Hedron is burned or something? I got to look at all the rules again. Finbear said, my dad just turned 71, so 60 is not the end. That's right. 60 is just a new chapter, in my opinion. My parents just turned 60. All right. Staker class wins. Exactly, Crypto Gains Club. Boys and girls, men and women, I'm going to head off. I'm going to head off right now, but it's been great spending time with all you guys. Hey, as always, make sure to like and subscribe, comment, share the video. Let's see. Oh, by the way, I'll do some shills. hexpassiveincome.com. Click right there above or down below if you want to get the course. Also, if you want to join my Patreon, just support the channel. Not only are you supporting the channel, if you're going to give a super chat in the chat room anyway, you might as well join my Patreon because you get a lot more out of it. You get a chat room where I'm very active, one-on-one questions with me answered. You get directions over my future videos. You can guide what new content ideas you want to see. You get exclusive bonus content at least once a month. And a couple of other good benefits. You get course coupons, a lot of good stuff. So if you're a veteran and you've liked what I've been doing for HEX, consider joining the Patreon. It's $10 or $20, depending on which option you choose. And if not, if you're brand new to crypto, consider getting the course. It'll teach you everything you need to know. If this is way over your head, all this stuff, the course will hold your hand from zero to hero, and it'll make everything so much more clear. So that's my shill. Timothy Harris says, yes, the course is good. Thanks, Timothy. You're the man. He's also in my Patreon, Timothy. So come hang out with us in the Patreon. And if not, just like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Later, guys.